What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City transfer update. I'm doing daily Manchester City transfer updates, so if you are enjoying the content, you want to help to support my channel, then do subscribe, press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on, and stay in the loop with the latest Manchester City transfer news first and fast on YouTube. Aiming for 25k subscribers, now less than 600 subs away from that goal, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget social media links, they're in the description below, sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. My email also in the description below too. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries, leave a thumbs up as well if you do enjoy this video. 500 likes once more is the aim, and also don't forget, most importantly, let me know your thoughts in the comments below as always, just what you do have to say with regards to these transfers. Let's crack on then with this transfer update. We're going to start off first with the out, and we've got an update on Cole Palmer. Now, if you want Cole Palmer to stay at Manchester City for the next season, you're going to like what I'm going to say. Now, Simon Bajkowski at the Manchester Evening News says that Cole Palmer, he will be staying with Manchester City for the upcoming season rather than be loaned out. Manchester City want to continue his development around the first team squad, and they're hoping to give him more opportunities next season as well, which is brilliant news for Cole, brilliant news for Manchester City, and brilliant news when it comes to producing academy players well, not just creating that belief that you can make it at Manchester City, but showcasing that if you are good enough and you do work hard and you've got the talent, then you can make it at Manchester City. And I think that gets to showcase to the whole academy, because we have some incredible young players at Manchester City, and Manchester City may as well make full use of having access to these incredible players, because not only are they homegrown, not only are they quality, but they've also got a lot to offer to the squad as well, including fresh energy, new ideas, and the willingness to learn there as well. So I'm all for that. I'd like to see maybe 3 or 4 more young players be promoted to the Manchester City first team squad and see how they cope, because the only way you're going to learn is to use them. But that's for me to make for another video, speaking about young players at Manchester City and how to progress them and what's going on and everything. But that's just brilliant news for Cole Palmer. So let's move on. Let's speak about Gabriel Jesus, and his time at Manchester City could well be coming to an end. Now, Fabrizio Romano says that Manchester City will sell Gabriel Jesus this summer, and that Gabriel Jesus will leave Manchester City for another Premier League club. He will not be heading abroad, so that kind of just cuts an end to Real Madrid's link with Gabriel Jesus. Fabrizio Romano did mention Real Madrid and says that at the moment it is interest, but it is nothing more than interest, and there are other clubs out there like Arsenal who are showing a lot more interest, feel like they're doing everything that they can to bring Gabriel Jesus to Arsenal now. It's all about price, this one. Arsenal, apparently they're willing to pay around 50 million euros, so we're looking at maybe just over 40 million pounds. That's according to Goal in Brazil. Apparently the Arsenal have already bid that. I've not heard any other word from any source based in the UK that Arsenal have made a bid for Gabriel Jesus. It's believed that Manchester City want around 60 million euros for Jesus to leave Manchester City. Apparently that isn't convincing Arsenal to sign him. There's been other reports suggesting that Manchester City have lowered their valuation of Gabriel Jesus. It's seemingly looking like it's going to be somewhere between 50 and 60 million euros. We're probably looking at around 40, 45. If Man City can get anywhere close to 50 million pounds for that transfer, then I think we've done very, very well. Now, normally I'd value Jesus as an attacking player, moving from one Premier League club to another with the Premier League premium put on the price. Normally I'd be asking for more. If he had 2 or 3 years on his contract, then I personally would be valuing Jesus at probably 60 plus million pounds. The fact that he's got 1 year left on his contract is going to bring that price down just a little bit. Jesus is weighing up his options at Manchester City. He wants to listen to what other clubs have got to say and their projects, and if Arsenal come calling and say he's going to be getting 38 Premier League games under his belt, starting as Arsenal's centre forward with Lacazette set to leave them, then he's going to be rubbing his hands that he's going to get that opportunity. And you can guarantee that Jesus, with the style of football Arsenal play, is probably going to go out there, score what, 15, 20 goals, I reckon, at least for Arsenal. So he'd be a very good signing, and for Manchester City I think we need to make sure we get a really good price here, because we do use our transfers that we generate in outgoings towards our incomings, and I'm expecting City to be really busy this summer. So it's important to see how that one plays out. I do want to speak more about Jesus in one of the ins, but we'll get to that when I get to it. So moving on to the ins, we've got a quick Marc Cucurella update. Rob Dawson at ESPN says that Brighton, they want £35 million for Cucurella this summer. Manchester City have said that that is not problematic for them. They can afford that and they're happy to spend that. I have seen a lot of fees chucked out there. Some have mentioned 20, 25, £30 million, so we may as well just chuck in a random £35 million. I've heard 40, 42, £45 million. Lots of numbers are being chucked out there, and I'm still waiting for more reliable sources rather than just mainstream media, or chances I like to call them, from abroad, pulling out stories from here, there and everywhere. I don't want to speak about the things happening on Twitter with all them chances accounts out there who are just basically making up a load of rubbish and trying to report it as fact. I'm waiting for reliable information from either Brighton or Manchester City that there is firm interest from City, that they are willing to discuss and get an agreement in with the player and speak with the club. And at the moment, it's pretty quiet on that front, so I don't think Cucurella is of a high priority for Manchester City right now in the window. That could come later in the window, but right now, beginning of June, it isn't Manchester City's priority. I'm actually hearing more of a priority towards Fernandinho that's leaving City. Of course, City looking at a defensive midfielder, and that takes us very nicely onto an update on Kalvin Phillips. Now, Rob Dawson at ESPN's also spoken about him and says that Manchester City are going to contact Leeds United once the international break ends for England and speak about Kalvin Phillips, who picked up another injury for England during the Germany v England game in the Nations League, which finished 1-1 in Munich. And so, if I was Manchester City, I'd be thinking long and hard about this transfer, because I have my doubts over his injuries. He's had some injuries with Leeds this season. He's picked up injuries again on the international break, and I can see if City end up signing him and spending £40+ million on him, we're going to have more injuries on our hands. So they're my thoughts on that. I have my reservations. There we go. So, moving on to the real meat of this story. Erling Haaland. Love a good Erling Haaland update. Now, Paul Ballers of The Athletic, he says that all the content has been sorted from Manchester City's end to announce Erling Haaland as a Manchester City player. There's no legal hiccups, which means he can be announced by Manchester City whenever they want. It doesn't have to be July 1st onwards, and people speaking about his contract with things with Dortmund and everything. It's not an issue. Everything is all sorted. Manchester City, all they need to do is announce this transfer, and City, they can do it whenever they want. Now, let's go back to what I was speaking about before with Gabriel Jesus. I feel like there might be a little bit of a hold-up when it comes to the player's number, because Manchester City, I think, want to give Haaland the number 9 shirt, and if we give him the number 9 shirt, it means we have to take it off Gabriel Jesus. At Manchester City, they don't like to do that. Apparently the players will have a problem with doing that. You earn your numbers there, and if that number's available, you take that number. And I think Manchester City, they want their big summer signing, arguably our biggest ever signing that we've ever done with Erling Haaland. He's going to sell a lot of shirts, and I think Manchester City want to profile him as our number 9, and they want him to have that number 9 shirt. So it could be a case that Man City are maybe waiting to get the ball rolling when it comes to Gabriel Jesus, which would explain why things have started to heat up towards his story, why he's been getting linked with Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid, why Arsenal are now trying to hurry this transfer along, because I think Manchester City behind the scenes just trying to force the issue that if they can get a sale agreed for Gabriel Jesus at some point in June, Manchester City can give Erling Haaland the number 9 shirt, and that means then he can be presented as Manchester City's new number 9 and can get them big shirt sales, and that is what Manchester City will be wanting when it comes to commercial deals. So we'll see what happens with regards to that. We might be in a clearer position maybe by the middle towards the end of June. I think Man City's stance pretty much is there's no rush to announce this transfer. I'm not expecting that to be announced this week. However, Paul Ballers has said that Manchester City could announce Erling Haaland as a new player at Manchester City by the beginning of next week. Manchester City have got lots of social media stuff planned for the announcement. I imagine there'll be a lot of build up towards that. City will want a lot of their integrations, they'll want a lot of the clicks, they'll want everybody speaking about their announcement for Erling Haaland to become a Manchester City player. And so naturally it means it comes with a very big campaign, and apparently as part of that big campaign would include a player meet and greet with the Manchester City fans. Erling Haaland is going to be on holiday until probably at least the beginning of July, so that probably won't be sorted until then. He'll have to get settled in and move all his stuff over and everything and get everything sorted. So I think this transfer is probably going to go on for another 2 or 3 weeks. We'll be speaking about Erling Haaland before everything's all done and dusted when it comes to this transfer. I'm very excited to see what City have got planned. I'm very excited to see this announcement video and the meet and greets and everything. There's lots of transfer content there for me to really get my teeth into, get some reactions out there, get my thoughts in there and everything. So I'm excited to see what City have got planned, and considering we've had to wait weeks for the announcement, even though we know he's going to be a Manchester City player, but we've still got to wait. We've still been prolonged here when it comes to this incredibly exciting transfer. We've still got to play that patient waiting game. So it's going to be big, it's going to be good, cannot wait for that. Yeah, can't wait. Let's see what happens. So there we go. That has been the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy this video, leave a thumbs up so I know that you enjoyed this video. 500 likes once more is the aim. Also, don't forget as well, let me know what you thought of these transfers in the comments below. Maybe even make a prediction. What date do you think Erling Haaland is going to be announced as a Manchester City player? Let me chuck a random date out there. I'm going to go for next Friday, 17th of June, for Haaland to become a Manchester City player. So get your predictions in the comments below. Don't forget as well to subscribe if you're new around here. Daily Manchester City transfer content coming throughout all of the summer transfer window, so you guys can stay up to date first and fast on YouTube with the latest Manchester City transfer news. So if you haven't already, do subscribe, get that bell press so you can be notified immediately for when I do upload. Also, don't forget as well, social media links, they're in the description below, sliding across at the bottom of the screen. If you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram, my email also in the description below too. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business enquiries. And on a last note, I did see yesterday on my channel it's allowing me now to do super thanks, which, yeah, if anyone wants to leave any super thanks, then that would be much appreciated. And anyone that does do that, as I'm rolling these out daily, I'll be able to say thank you to you through my videos, obviously the next day once that's been left. So if anyone wants to leave any super thanks, then that would be much appreciated. And I'll see you all again tomorrow religiously for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. So I've been JSGC, thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.